Man, this whole time, bro, they made us fucking think Africa was such a poor country, bro. Such a place you wouldn't want to be at, bro. And speed is single-handedly changing my perspective on life. Like the music in Africa, the culture, everything, every single aspect of Africa just makes my insides feel so good, bro. And it makes me just want to leave America. Bro, I feel like America is the trap. America is the trap. The American dream is the trap. Everybody else is free, but not free from America. America's the problem, bro. America's the fucking problem. And I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. Like, Speed, thank you, bro.
Y'all probably wondering why I'm crying. I've been watching Speed streams, and I'm seeing all the love that he's getting in Angola. He's in South Africa, and he's getting massive amount of love. And the way that he was treated in Europe was disgusting. But to see him be a black man from the United States of African descent and be able to go back to the continent and be treated like a human by civilized African people, when we've been taught that Africa is primitive, that it's dangerous, don't go back, they have this, they have that, they don't want you, they don't like you. And to see an African American man with his stature go back to the motherland and be treated with so much respect. This is what our people fought for. This is what they fought for when they fought against Jim Crow and segregation. This is what the slave revolts were about. This is what it's always been about. It's to be able to go back home to a home that you've never been and be unapologetically black and not have to think about being black. Just being able to have your natural hair and your brown skin and not be judged and not be racially profiled and not be killed. I love the love that he is getting. And I love the love that all of my African American people are getting in the continent. And I know there's a lot of issues. I know there's a lot of things that need to be worked out. But I'm so proud. I'm so proud. And I love that for him, and I love that for all of my people that are over there. And I can't wait to hit the soil and experience it myself.
Hey, man, can someone please tell me why I thought Africa looked like this? That is not Africa. I did my research on my FYP, bro. I did not think Africa looked like this. I'm from America. Don't press me about it. I didn't know what it looked like over there. But let me show you what Africa look like right now. I did not think Africa looked like that. What am I doing in America? Can someone take me to Africa, please? You thought that was it? Look at this shit. I need to take a flight. I need to go to Africa. Can someone please take me to Africa right now? What am I doing in America?
Today we'll be talking about something beautiful and important. ISHOWSPEED recently took viewers on his journey across Africa, showing the real sights, sounds, and culture, and it left some Americans shocked, emotional, and amazed. Why? Because for so long, many of us have been fed stereotypes. Africans is full of monkeys and snakes. People live in huts and lives are primitive. And then ISHOWSPEED shows the reality: bustling cities, stunning landscapes, modern architectures, thriving communities, and rich culture. And suddenly, everything they thought they knew changes. My name is Faith, and if this is your first time here, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We've got more clips and conversation coming your way, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Let's chat.
The way Americans are reacting to the ISHOWSPEED streams in America, in Africa, just makes you think Americans have no education whatsoever. This just invalidates all of their opinions for the rest of their lives. Firstly, Americans think that Africa is a country. Secondly, they think people in Africa still hunt their own animals and are running away from lions and tigers, bro. They still think that Africans have to travel 5 miles every day just for a bucket of water, fetch it on, put it on the top of their head, and then come back to their village. There are literally Americans crying over the fact that they think that ISHOWSPEED went to Africa. He's now shown them the truth, and essentially now is the time that their eyes have opened up. And they're genuinely crying over this. They're like, we had so much propaganda on us, and now suddenly the book is open, and wow.
Patriots, this just in, there has been an awakening. ISHOWSPEED has been in Egypt. He's the first live streamer to ever go into the pyramids. It's intense. And the expressions from the Black American community here on TikTok and online is overwhelming, because he's going into these museums and he asks a question. He said, why are all the noses missing? Why are the noses missing from all of the Egyptian statues, or a lot of them? And he asked the woman that, and she says, oh, it's because that's that's where it was the weakest part. Then no. The truth is because Black Americans come from kings and queens and royalty. And they were brought here through slavery, had their names and history stolen from them. And people are literally like crying online hearing this. And this is kind of something I've kind of known, for a little bit, but it's interesting how when something hits you, it almost reminds me of Juneteenth, how people were free from slavery, but they didn't know. And it was like, once they got the word, was Juneteenth. And it almost feels like this is a liberation for Black Americans to realize that some people are saying the American dream they've been sold is BS. That your lineage, your roots are greatness of kings and queens and royalty, and Lord knows in Egypt, the technology that we have no idea about. That's Black culture. That's Black American culture. That's African culture. A lot of people are saying, I had no clue. They thought Africa was just poor and, kids sitting around with flies on their, belly and stuff. No, it's beautiful. It's prosperous. It's like Wakanda. But they've just been hiding it from you. So I think there's a beautiful day of awakening. Hey, it's like Juneteenth all over. Wishing everybody well. ISHOWSPEED, beautiful work. Beautiful work. It's about awakening people and letting them know their true potential. Secret Service Sam Out Sampson for president of TikTok.
Speed is on a tour of Africa. Many youth are learning for the first time that the continent is more than baboons and mud huts. American education is so fucked, bro. These niggas will teach you that this guy built the pyramids, King Channing Tatum, and that the rest of Africa is just savages and loincloths. And then they develop false sciences, see eugenics, to create biological proof of inferiority. It hurts my heart. But it's a necessary part of the thievery of our gold and our diamonds to convince the world that we are inferior. Speed actually tried to purchase a diamond in Botswana, to which they replied that they're only allowed to sell their own diamonds to De Beers, the British mega corporation founded by Cecil Rhodes, who literally stole the land and the mines through murder and slavery, and still to this day has scholarships named after him, Rhodes Scholarships. Heard of that? It's some George Washington shit. George Washington type beat. Botswana is the top diamond producer in the world and is one of the poorest countries on earth. So Speed, like any reasonable person learning about colonial theft for the first time, it's like, that's weird. Like, I can't buy a diamond from the people that mine the diamonds? All right. But I love it though, because these kids, man, they're gonna see the truth. Just like they saw Gaza through TikTok, that is seeing Africa in all its glory through Speed Stream. Similarly to the ICE killing of Renee Good, you can't lie about what we've seen on camera. And to Black Americans, Africans love you. they will welcome you home. This division between us, manufactured by the powers that be. They lied to us. Because when we unite, African Americans, the most culturally influential group on the planet, with Africans, the fastest growing population, and the most resources on earth, that's the only way we get free. Because all our heroes knew this shit. Malcolm X said you can't care about Mississippi without caring about what's going on in the Congo. 60 years ago, man. Don't be brainwashed into thinking we ain't one people.
Speed in Africa makes me so happy. I just love seeing that he's having a great time, because a lot of Black Americans don't travel to Africa. They stay in America and they believe a lot of the lies that their white racist granddaddy be telling them about Africa. And I know a lot of them watching Speed will say, oh, it's because he's a celebrity. And it's like, y'all don't even know what you're talking about. Y'all just be ignorant as fuck doing all of this. But when I was in Nigeria, like, I would see white people more than I would ever see. But I don't think I saw one Black American when I was in Nigeria for like 8 years. So I just love to see when Black Americans visit anywhere in Africa, they have a great time, they connect, they just have great experiences. Of course, traveling, going anywhere, you won't always have great experiences. That's just how life is. But it just brings me so much joy. I never saw, like, you would see a white person in Africa before you see a Black American. The same white Americans, you'll see them in Africa before you see a Black. It's so crazy because white Americans will go to Africa, have a grand ass time. And then the Black Americans, the ones that look really close to a lot of Africans, are the ones that are like, yeah, they hate us. I can't go. They won't accept us. Like, why? How come you've already made up your mind before you even know anything? And that's how I know it's y'all's racist granddaddies, white granddaddies. I see a lot of Black Americans saying, oh, I don't think Africans like us. You don't think 54 countries in Africa, like 54 different countries with thousands of different tribes of people, they don't like just you from one country in America, like in North America? Like, you really think, like, how did you come to that conclusion? Did you go there and everyone rejected you? You went to every country and they all rejected you? No. If you are a Black American person that has, born and raised in America, never been to Africa, I need you to delete everything that you think you know about Africa. Just delete it. Because Africa has never been portrayed to be what it actually is to the world. The indigenous people in Africa have never been portrayed as what they really are. Especially if you're American, you know that the white racist American government, how racist America has been, it's changing slowly, but you know what is going on. Racist African cartoons, how they display Africans, the fact that a lot of racist people like to use Africa to like taunt Black Americans. Y'all need to delete all that, because that is what is giving you your information. That is where you're coming from when you talk about Africa. You don't know shit about Africa. Even most Africans don't know shit about Africa. So if they don't know shit, I know you don't know shit. You actually have zero experience with Africans. And I know some of y'all gonna be like, oh, the Africans in America, that's not it, sorry. And it's so funny how y'all always like to forget African booty scratchers. The fact that y'all bullied Africans so much that they have to say they was Jamaican. Y'all forget all that and then turn around and be like, I don't think Africans like us. Oh, really? You don't think, because all 54 countries of Africans, they don't like you, just and y'all will go to white European countries. Y'all will go everywhere before you go to Africa. All I'm saying is broaden your horizons and always assume that you don't know enough. Especially if you're a Black person, whatever idea that you have of another group of Black people, just put yourself in their shoes and be like, if I was them, would I also be like that? If the answer is no, then question, find out information, do some research.
Imagine seeing Africa for the first time, not through movies, textbook, or biased news, but through ISHOWSPEED lens. People were overwhelmed. Some were speechless. Some were even tearing up. Why? Because reality looked so different from the lies they were told. A group of Americans saw image of Kigali in Rwanda. and Dakar in Senegal. Vibrant cities, modern infrastructure, amazing art sense. And their reaction, wow, I had no idea African looked like this, is a moment that shows how powerful perspective is. When your worldview is challenged, emotions run high. Let's talk about the stereotypes for a moment. African is often misinterpreted as a place of poverty, wild animals, and simple huts. And for American who grew up hearing this, it's hard to reconcile with reality. But in ISHOWSPEED's video, people saw skyscrapers in Lagos and Nairobi, beautiful beaches in Senegal and Zanzibar, modern marketplaces, restaurants and tech hubs, fashion, music, and arts that rival anywhere in the world. And suddenly the narrative flips.
Yo, so I'm kind of confused. Like, ISHOWSPEED is in Africa, and like, how? Like, they have Wi-Fi. I never knew that. And like, they have cars, houses. Like, shit's crazy. I never knew that.
I always thought I was too old to watch or pay attention to ISHOWSPEED, but his little trip to Africa is really moving me. I've been going back and forth with what I feel about influencer culture, but that young man, he's got it. He's building his wealth and he's learning. I love the way he exudes authenticity. He's himself everywhere he goes. He's racing. He has that boy-like curiosity. And for this one, and maybe it's just because I'm black, he's in Africa and he's with black people. He's with folks who look like him, and he's learning about the history and the culture, and he's exposing a place to people who thought something different was what was really happening there. So more power to Speed. He got a YouTube follower out of me during his time in Africa. It's really rare we get to see this type of unfiltered black boy joy, and I'm so here for it.
What ISHOWSPEED and DDG did in Africa for Black Americans is something that I've been dreaming of since my first trip to the motherland in 2020. I know it's a lot of pushback from African creators saying, oh, well, we didn't need Black Americans to validate us and show that Africa was beautiful. But the fact is, there's so much hate and there's an agenda for us to have a war, a diaspora war, right? And so when you saw what they did and you saw how much love it was, I think it was more so for us than for y'all. I believe that there's a lot of healing that needed to be done with Black Americans and Africans. And this dispelled a lot of the rumors that we hate each other, right? And this has been my mission since the first time I went to Africa in 2020. Coming for Africa. Peace from Khalees.
These Americans realize Africa is complex, modern, and thriving, full of life, creative, and innovation. One comment stuck out. Someone said, I never thought I would see Africa like this in my lifetime. I'm emotional. That's the thing. That's the thing. Emotions are real when assumptions are proven wrong. Imagine growing up thinking a continent is one way, only to see a vibrant culture, happy family, beautiful nature, and thriving cities. That emotional shift is powerful. It changes perspectives forever. ISHOWSPEED didn't show landscape. He showed people, community, tradition, and modern achievements. Even some Americans were calling African country instead of a continent. Presentation matters when only stereotypes are shown. People form false ideas, but when someone like ISHOWSPEED shares reality, it changes mind. Think about it. How many people in US only see Africa through negative news clip? What happens when they finally see the truth, the beauty, the everyday life? They stunned, they humbled, and they are inspired. And that inspiration often leads to curiosity, learning, and respect for the continent that has been misunderstood for decades. Modern Africa is not just cities. It's innovation, it's culture, it's nature, it's music, fashion, arts, tech, education, and thriving communities. America seeing this, we are often saying, I never imagined this. Africa is beautiful, creative, and modern. That's the power of showing reality. If this video inspired you, hit the like, subscribe, and turn the notification bell. Africa is more than what you have been told. It's vibrant, beautiful, and alive, and it deserves to be seen that way. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What surprised you most about Africa's beauty? Let's keep the conversation real and reflective. See you in my next video.